Okay, so you can see I've supported the board, and now we're going to see if we can just yank that up. I got a feeling we're going to be able to move that up. I don't know though. I think we're just going to pull that pin at the top and then drive it down. I'll torch it off. Just seems to be the smart way to go. But before I do that, I have to finish producing my part. I have to cut a bevel on each end. And then I got to drill a hole in each end so that there's a washer on each end to keep it from working its way up. They will work their way up. By propping this up or holding this up, I have gained about probably a half an inch of height. You can see on this one right here, it was hitting there. So it's not hitting there anymore. It can't hit there because it's off the middle by a quarter of an inch. Tim likes to hit himself in the head. Okay. I'm going to say those pins were probably the right pin. But I think that what happened, and what I can see, the pins weren't actually broken. They sheared this cotter pin on the one side and it dropped down, and on the other side it sheared it on the bottom and drove it up. This is the bottom one, and you can see it's all shiny here where that board was actually kicking out on the bottom side, flexing it. It's not going to do that now, because what I have done is I have made a 41-inch pin which fits in there perfectly fine. 41-inch pin fits in there perfectly fine, but it can't come up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the top pin, rub it back in, and I've already got the new cotter pins in, or I can use hitch pin clips. They'll be fine. They're spring pins. They'll hold it in place. So it can't go anywhere. It can only go down, which it can't go down because there's solid steel there. It can only get sheared off, and these knuckleheads behind me are bickering. Yeah. So that's really what happened today. I'm going to go ahead and take this piece here off. This piece right here. That's got to come off of there. And I'll put my welding glasses on. There, I got it.
And turn the light on.
I missed my head.
But yeah, if you're going to do this, I would strongly recommend you weld the board. I'd strongly recommend you weld that board in place so that it can't fall down and hurt somebody. Or if you want to take it out completely, that's up to you, but unnecessary. A little bit of spray paint and you won't see any of the... Well, you won't see what I did there anyway, because I'm going to build these extensions on here. Now the whole point in this is to make this baler bale a good tight bale. Right out of the shop here. Let's see. Oh no, is it this one? And this.
The other one.
I did it. No way. Ouchie.
Sometimes you got to get violent. The battery just died. Scooby-Doo reference. I went went and I bought different bolts. I was not satisfied with the John Deere bolts. They were a coarse thread and they were just about a ½ inch too short. So I went and I bought they were 5 inches and these are 5.5. The ones that were originally in there were 5 1/4. So, and I bought the fine thread because it can take a lot more abuse. That'll make Carl happy too. So, what we got here?
I got one on. Sí, señor.
Probably just dry that out. Too much trouble. You know the Krone actually has springs to keep that up.
What?
The Rigiligulus? Boy, I think there's some, some atheists that are really going to love this video. So did you get the nail out? I mean the bolt out?
No.
He keeps pushing it up too far.
Oh, is it spinning?
Hold it down, so
Don't push it so hard. Get it on there, don't push it so hard. Give him a pry bar. You can pry the, well, maybe you can pry that knife up as he's pulling. Whatever you do, don't put your thumb on top of that nut, that bolt, because it'll cut you in a circular pattern and it sucks. It's like taking a...
bar.
So anyways, what we're attempting to do...
Pry bar.
Why do you need a pry bar?
So I could be able to bend this damn thing away.
What thing?
This freaking...
Tim took lessons in Drama Queen. Oh, it's the worst of the worst thing I could ever do. Instead of just bucking up and doing the job, we gotta be dramatic. So anyways,
why do you push it so damn hard?
Because I'm trying to get it up.
don't put your fingers on there. Listen, Tim,
What?
if you push it, you can't.
I got two hands on two fucking things and I'm trying to get it in place.
Don't listen. Just take your hands off of it, Joe, until he decides to cooperate. Are you going to cooperate and listen, or? And I don't give a shit.
On that.
If you're going to not listen to what we're telling you.
Tim, it doesn't matter what I put on it. The harder you push up, it's not going to lock into place.
Vice grips? Got vice grips?
No, I don't have vice
Goddamn
grips. Would you like
vice
to get out and
grips?
get vice grips? Or maybe you could just listen instead of being a pain in the ass.
Dude, I'm trying to get it in between a goddamn finger and it's in my
I'll
goddamn
get you
way.
vice grips. You can't push too hard because it won't lock into the square nut. My God, in heaven, strike me down. Dealing with these people sometimes. Take this. Anyway, so this is a knife. This is what cuts your hay. It is on the bottom. Now, I always thought they should have been turned this way, just because, and maybe have an edge like that. But they're actually turned this way, and the hay comes in, and this wedge is full of shit. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the flat part. It mounts at the very bottom of it, and then there's this beveled. It's beveled like a regular blade would be, but when the hay comes across the top, there's moving shears that go over the top of it, like a pair of scissors, and it cuts them off. New Holland had them on an angle, which was a better way. I think New Holland, maybe it's Krone. The Krone has it on an angle. I'd have to go look. I think New Hollands were straight. Krone has them on an angle so that they kind of scissor action across that. But what happens is they kind of they wear where the scissoring action is, and then you get this wavy blade, and it's dull, and then if you get a rock or something hard up in there, it'll chip them out, and it doesn't cut so well. Did you get it?
There's one more bolt.
And there's 5 on each one.
It's out.
You got all 5 of them? No, all the way on the end.
There's 5, Tim.
There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all the way out.
For what part? It can break, so be careful. There's. See if you can tap it up.
Smack the damn thing.
Good idea. There you go. Okay. Give to me that, and then, oh, there's Loctite on them. No? Paint. Alright, so here's a perfect example. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about. See the waviness here? How that goes? They're kind of almost, these are actually not too bad. But you'll get chips and dings, and the blade is now, keep going with all of them. The blade is now a lot thinner. A a lot thinner than it used to be. So what happens is you have to you got to turn the plunger slowly after you get the new one in. Now there should be shims on the top of that. See them? No shims? It's solid metal. The New Holland had shims. So anyway, yeah, so what you do after you get the new knife in, you have to run the plunger slowly over the top of it, because if the shears on the top of them are too tight, you'll hit the edge of this thing and break the knife, and then you're kind of fucked. And these things are $60 a piece or so. So, yeah. And here's the other noticeable difference. You can see how much that sticks up. Let's get the squares lined up. So the squares are lined up, and that will give you, that knife is actually bent a little bit, I think, but that'll give you a comparison as to the wave of the old blade. Hopefully you can see that. These are overlooked wear items. People don't like to change them. I don't like to change them. That's why I have Tim underneath and Joe on the inside. Smart fathering skills. Anyway, hey, you happy, Tim? No? No answer? Must be thrilled. Anyway, it sucks. This job really sucks, and that's why I have these guys to do it. Grant gave up. Grant out. He doesn't usually give up, but I get that. So yeah, that's it. 2 knives in each one. The shears, these on this baler look pretty good. So it only has 17,640 bales through it. So that's just the long and the short. It's good. We'll go ahead and put these in, and that's that. I'll show you the end result. The thin ones, I don't know. I'll measure it once I get them in there. They're going to torch out holes on the inside of that. Why? What?
What is the soap stand for?
Plastic. No. Well.
Where's the soap stand?
See, hello.
You're lying on the ground outside.
What?
You're lying on the ground outside.
No, the soap stone's already on the thing. I looked for about 2 seconds.
Well, this girl sounds like the
Would you like to try our trooper?
Oh, okay, great.
Suck my big fat dick.
Hey, don't talk like that.
Are you a live person? No.
I'm so sorry about that. I was having trouble hearing you. Are you at least 28 years old with a credit or debit card?
Yeah, I would say that you were having trouble hearing
Okay,
me.
great. That's wonderful. So now I'm going to